anyway, we reacting to asking 1,000 people to rate their attractiveness from 1 through 10. This is gonna be a show.
10. And all of us are 10s.
I mean, obviously, I think I'm a 10.
10. Damn! Wait a minute.
I think I'm a 10.
Truly?
Yeah. I'm a
Bro. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me go back.
Truly?
Bro, how do I go back? What's going on?
Damn! Wait a minute.
Oh my goodness. What are you doing if you're getting interviewed? If somebody asks you, rate yourself a 1 through 10, you say 10, and your friend like hits you with a wait a minute.
I think I'm a 10.
Truly?
Yeah.
How attractive do you think you are on a scale from 1 to 10? Be honest. If I asked you right now, what number would you say? Most people have an answer ready. Some shoot high and say, I'm a solid 8 or 9. Others play it safe with something like 6. A few, if they are being brutally honest, might go lower. But here's the
I'm not gonna lie, you shouldn't rate yourself anything under a 6. Like, that's just, yeah, that's just common sense.
problem. Many people who receive this question on camera often say they're a 10. So we wanted to get real, honest answers. To do this, 1,000 people were asked to brutally rate their own attractiveness from 1 to 10.
Dang, bro, a thou?
And here's what's fascinating. When these 1,000 people were actually asked this exact question, the majority of them gave almost the exact same answer. They said 7. Not average, not perfect, just comfortably above average. 7 out of 10. So what is going on? People call themselves a 7. Are we all actually better looking than we realize? Are we delusional? Or is there something much deeper happening in the way human beings see themselves? Let's break it down. Part 1. The experiment. In this study, 1,000 people were asked to rate their attractiveness from 1 to 10.
Man, when is we gonna get into the ratings? It's taking too long, man.
The results revealed a very clear pattern. Less than 1% of people rated themselves at the very bottom, as a 0 or a 1. About 3% gave themselves a 2, around 5% said 3, approximately 8% said 4, nearly 15% went with 5, around 22% landed on 6. And then we hit the jackpot. The most common rating by far was 7, with 28% of people choosing it. After that, 12% rated themselves as an 8, about 5% said 9, and finally, just about 1% of people had the confidence
You know how niche you gotta be to rate yourself a 9? Like you really gotta be niche.
to call themselves a perfect 10. So let's pause here for a moment. If you are watching this right now, there is a very good chance you would rate yourself a 6 or a 7. That's exactly what almost everyone else does. And this isn't random. It turns out there are very specific psychological reasons why people cluster around 7. For one, 5 feels too harsh. If you rate yourself a 5, it sounds like you are saying you are just average, and nobody wants to feel just average. A 10, on the other hand, feels arrogant. Claiming perfection risks judgment from others. But 7? 7 is safe. 7 says, I am confident, but I am not cocky. I am attractive, but not trying to act flawless. There is another interesting twist here.
Man, when is we gonna be into this rating?
When people in the same survey were asked about the minimum attractiveness they would accept in a partner, the number that came up most often was also 7. So let that sink in.
I'm more of an 8 out of 10 type of dude. Yeah.
Not only do most people think of themselves as a 7, but they also want their partner to be at least a 7. Everyone wants to date above average, while also believing they already are above average. Part 2, do we overrate ourselves? This leads us to a very important question. Do people actually see themselves more attractive than they really are? When researchers compared self-ratings to the ratings given by strangers,
Honestly, I feel like people don't see themselves more attractive than they are. Because, like, to put it in terms, like, you see yourself every day. Like, you see your hair, your eyes. You're gonna be used to it, but as somebody else, they may see you a whole different way because they don't see you every day. They be like, dang, he got cool hair, dang, cool eyes, this that, and the third. So that's what I think. But there are like a bunch of like people. I'm not gonna say the group of them, but just know a bunch of people that we seen in the beginning of the video are really arrogant and they think they're 10, and deep down they know they're not a 10. So yeah,
The difference was clear. On average, people rated themselves a 6.7 out of 10,
man,
but
what?
strangers rated them closer to a
He gotta be trolling a 6.7.
6. That means most of us are overestimating our own attractiveness.
Bro, Marlon. I said Marlon. Marlon, what's going on with this shirt, bro? I'm not gonna hold you.
So why does this happen? There are three main explanations that psychologists give. The first is called the mirror effect. You have seen your face thousands of times in mirrors, selfies, and reflections. The more familiar something becomes, the more attractive it feels. That is why you usually prefer your mirrored face, while your friends prefer the real version. The second explanation is called the self-enhancement bias. Human beings naturally inflate their own qualities. We consistently rate ourselves higher than reality when it comes to intelligence, driving ability, or physical appearance. It is a built-in confidence buffer.
Hold on, gotta check something.
And the third explanation is evolutionary. If you genuinely believe you are more attractive than you really are, you will naturally carry yourself with more confidence. And confidence itself is attractive. So this little bit of self-deception can actually help you survive and compete. In other words, overrating yourself is not just ego, it is strategy. Part 3, the gender difference. Now here is something even more interesting. Women on average rate themselves higher than men. When large groups of men and women are asked to give themselves a number, women consistently place themselves closer to 7 or
Not gonna hold you. This is not what I was expecting to get into. I thought we was about to be like looking at people right. Oh, did I speak too soon? We might
even
be.
above, while men tend to be a little more critical, often landing slightly lower.
North Italia.
Why does this happen? Part of it comes down to social dynamics. Women are more frequently complimented on their looks from a young age. They receive more attention on average than a man does. This repeated feedback shapes self-perception. Men, on the other hand, tend to get less direct feedback on appearance and are more likely to be judged by other traits like status, strength, or ability. In fact, men are 3 times more likely to rate themselves a brutal 1 out of 10 than women are. Why?
Yes, dude, you're definitely gonna get roasted way more than like any type of compliment. Unless you're just like that lucky dude that has like a bunch of people that glaze them. Like, oh, he's this, he's that. Like, man, get off his meat.
It all comes down to body image pressure. This is because the high-value man culture constantly pushes the idea that you must be tall, shredded, rich, and have a 10 out of 10 face card, or you don't measure up. Or then a low-value man. Until you tick all 4 of these boxes, women won't respect you, and you will be invisible. This makes men more insecure and accepting of the fact that they can't reach these unimaginable standards, which explains the lower ratings. Another factor is cultural. Women are often encouraged to present themselves positively and confidently in appearance-related
Hold on, is my jump messed up?
situations. Men, on the other hand, sometimes worry about being judged as vain or arrogant if they rate themselves too high. So the difference is not necessarily that women are objectively more attractive. It is that their self-image and the social expectations surrounding it are different. Part 4. Attraction isn't just numbers. At this point, you might be wondering, if everyone is calling themselves a 7, what does that number actually mean?
Humble?
Is it fixed? The truth is, attraction is not a fixed number. It is perception. Yes, there are universal factors like symmetry, healthy features, and clear skin. But beyond those, attraction is incredibly subjective. One study showed that ratings of attractiveness varied massively depending on culture, personality preferences, and even something as simple as the rater's mood. That is why one woman might be obsessed with Timothée Chalamet, while another just does not see it. That is also why you will sometimes see so-called average-looking men dating women that others would describe as out of their league. Because women do not judge a man in isolation, they judge him in context. In fact, in experiments where people were given both a photo and a short personality description, the attractiveness ratings jumped up or down depending on the traits. Looks may open the door, but personality, confidence, and energy decide whether you get invited in. Part 5. The trap of comparison. But here is where many people fall into trouble. Your self-image is not stable.
The trap of bro, we still not even seeing no ratings yet, man. I got clickbaited, man. Comparison dude is a thief of joy, I guess, though.
It is fragile, and it changes depending on what you compare yourself to. Studies show that scrolling through Instagram or TikTok almost always makes people rate themselves lower. Even people who are objectively very attractive start to feel average when they are bombarded with endless highlight reels of models, influencers, and celebrities. One study even found that after just a few minutes of looking at attractive faces online, participants rated themselves as less attractive, even though absolutely nothing about their own appearance had changed. This explains why you might feel like an 8 after a fresh haircut, but then spend 10 minutes on TikTok and suddenly feel like a 5.
Dang.
Part 6. Confidence
It be like that. It be like that.
versus arrogance. Now, what about the people who rated themselves as a perfect 10? When those answers came up, many viewers rolled their eyes. It came across as cocky, but interestingly, research shows that overconfidence can actually be attractive. In dating scenarios, confident men are consistently rated as more dominant, more charismatic, and more desirable. But there is a catch.
Low key, I was seeing this dude, and he was talking about not knowing how attractive you are can be dangerous because people can use you for deeds. And that's low key crazy now that I'm thinking about it. Because some people are attractive and they be like, well, I don't know if I'm attractive. That's crazy.
If confidence crosses the line into arrogance, it quickly backfires. One study found that overconfident people were respected more in short-term settings, but they were less liked in long-term relationships. So the line is thin. Confidence attracts, arrogance repels. The difference lies in whether your confidence inspires and lifts others, or whether it belittles them. Part 7. The bigger lesson. So what does all of this actually mean for you? It means the number you give yourself, whether it is a 5, a 7, or even a 10, is not as important as you think. Attractiveness is relative. It depends on who you are compared to. It is subjective. Different women find different traits attractive, and it is dynamic. Your number changes as people get to know you. This is why you often see couples where the guy is not a 10 by conventional standards, yet his partner is still completely in love with him. His personality, his confidence, his presence. All of these things build a story that goes far beyond numbers. So if you are a man watching this, here is the practical takeaway. Stop obsessing over your number. Whether you are a 6 or a 7 does not define you. Control your comparisons.
That man said 6 or 7.
Social media warps your self-image. What matters is how you show up in real life. Play to your strengths. You do not need everyone to find you attractive. You only need the right person to see you. And finally, work on your presence. Looks matter, yes, but confidence, charisma, and energy matter just as much, if not more. So the next time you look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I a 5, a 7, maybe even a 10? Remember this, your number is not fixed. It changes
I don't know what he's talking about, but just know you still good. You still good.
with your mindset. It changes with your story, and it changes with how you show up in the world.
I'm still good.
Attraction has never been about a number. It has always been about the story you tell when you walk into a room. After all this, you might still say, but looks still play a huge role when it comes to attractiveness. And my answer is, that is 100% correct. I mean, it's literally what drives human evolution. It's biology. Women were always hardwired to pick attractive males, and this psychology still lies in the female brain today. That's why I invite you to watch this video right here,
I'm not gonna
which
lie, I'm not
shows you
watching that.
exactly
But we got clickbaited. I thought we was gonna see 1,000 people rate themselves. But this was still a interesting video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and rate yourself, I guess. I don't know. But we out.